Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Michael's Corner. Um, this afternoon, um, I am inviting a very special guest, Sylvester J. Fox, and he keeps messaging me, you know, messaging me, wanting to join in and whatnot. But I gotta do my introductions first, and then I will let him in after. So, you guys know the drill. Y'all can follow me on social media: Facebook, Michael's Corner; Twitter is at Michael Cam; and YouTube is Michael's Wrestling Channel. And let's not waste any more time because Sylvester J. Fox is a very busy person. I'm going to get him on because I got a lot to talk about. So I'm bringing him in now. Okay. Hello. Mute your unmute yourself so I can hear you. Sorry, everyone. We're having a little technical difficulties. Yep. Unmute
Okay.
yourself. There you go. How you
So
doing?
great, Michael. How are you?
Good. So, sorry to keep you waiting. It's because I got I got a ton of stuff to do. And guess what's out today?
What?
WWE 2K24 video game.
You're staying up all night playing video games.
Yep, it came out. But in fact, I played the game 3 days before the launch date.
How did you get access?
Well, I I'll tell you all about it later. It's been a it's been a minute since I had you on here on Michael's Corner. Tell me, what have you been up to, and what's going on with the North Dakota pro wrestling scene? Because I've been trying to get over there to make my debut, but with COVID and everything, everything's got to be canceled and everything. So, what's
Yeah,
going
Michael.
on?
It is. It's been a hot minute since you and I have been able to hang out, let alone have me as a guest. Because honestly, I don't get out to the cities much anymore because we got so much pro wrestling action going on in North Dakota now. We didn't have that back, 10 years ago when I was coming out and visiting you on a regular basis. So yeah,
Okay.
we've got two major companies in North Dakota that I'm a part of. Below Zero Wrestling is primarily located in Fargo, which is just on the border of North Dakota and Minnesota. So you could throw a rock across the river to Moorhead, Minnesota from Fargo. Um,
Okay.
so anyway, yeah, Below Zero Wrestling is where it's at. We've got some of the best guys you have in the cities, some of the best guys down in that Sioux Falls area. A bunch of the guys from the Magnum Pro Wrestling down there in the Omaha area. So guys I've managed in Below Zero Wrestling. Your favorite, the system,
Okay.
right? You always
Right.
trust the system, Michael.
Yes, I
Yeah,
do, sir.
yeah. Oh, and you got your Minnesota Wrestling Hall of Fame shirt on.
It was
We got
only
to.
appropriate. It was only appropriate.
I appreciate it. Carol and I have been talking a lot, and we've got some more people that we need to get inducted into that Minnesota Wrestling Hall of Fame in the near future. So
Yes, we do.
we'll,
And and Kurt Otterholt better be on that list because he did a lot for Minnesota wrestling and whatnot.
well, he gave us Michael. We know that much.
Damn right.
If it wasn't for Kurt getting you into the business, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be doing this. So
Right.
Kurt Otterholt he better be on that list.
And he got you your first Legends interview too. You got to interview the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, yes, I did.
I was there that night.
People know that. And people don't know that. I interviewed the honky tonk.
Yeah,
They,
I was standing right there when you conducted the interview.
yeah. And it's
Remember
still
I
on the YouTube channel. They just have to go to my playlist, scroll down their little smartphone, they'll see it.
right. Their phones are smarter than they think they are. They can find it.
Yeah. So, are there any more events in North Dakota that's going on this weekend or this month or the months to come? Because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. We got Below Zero Wrestling's coming up. We're gonna be, Cloud Nine, which is your good friend up in Minot, Shaggy.
Hmm
That's another promotion we got up in Minot, North Dakota. So that's in the upper left-hand state of the north. That they got some of the same, most of the same wrestlers we have in Cloud Nine too, though, like Bobby Brennan and Jack Ledger, um, Mr. Incredible. Oh, your buddy Kyle Pro.
Yes.
Yeah, Stonehenge. We've had him.
hmm
Um, so downtown Petey Brown, he's a
Yeah.
big Below Zero guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, not, yeah, exactly. So we've got, let's see, I want to get my dates extremely accurate here. So um, next show we have for Below Zero Wrestling is April 20th. So, in the cities, you got so many promotions running so often because you have so many people in the cities that can go. You got shows almost every weekend. That's the beauty of where you live, Michael. You just gotta pick up an Uber and you could be at a show every weekend.
Speaking of
Especially,
speaking of Uber, I hate to cut off topic. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding Uber and Lyft
heard.
because it's just a long story short. Uber and Lyft is threatening to leave Minneapolis come May
Yeah.
1st if you know if
If
the
Minneapolis forces them to pay whatever $15 or $20 an hour to their drivers. Yeah.
yeah due to the city ordinance and all that bull crap. It's like, all it is, I'll tell you one thing. I hate to use your real name, Joe, but in this
Sure.
case, I think it's just a lot of political bullshit. That's what it
Yeah.
is. And what it comes down to is money, power, and control. That's all I'm gonna say about that subject because that's gonna be a lot of topic for a lot of time, and I'll just DM you about it. But
Well,
that's a whole other story.
I know, but I mean, if they want to get this thing fixed, they should invite Michael into the room. Do you not remember when your whole place of employment was in a battle with the employees, and you went in and negotiated a deal that got everybody back to work,
Yep. Yes, I
right?
did, sir.
Yeah. I mean, you got to find common ground. Everybody
Yep,
can.
I'll do it again. Hey,
Yeah.
believe me, I'll do it again because I gotta stand. It's just that. Long story short, the way that they're treating, you know, it's a whole butter topic. You,
Sure.
the way they're just. I'm gonna say like this, and then we'll get back to wrestling related business. The way they treat people with disabilities is so freaking sick, and
No.
I can I could go on all day, but let's just get on to wrestling related
Let's
business.
talk about some good, positive, fun wrestling.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting on to our dates. So I told you April 20th. We are in Dickinson, North Dakota. Yeah, and we're gonna have our current Below Zero Wrestling champion Brandon Nitro, who's from down in the Sioux Falls area. Trained by Eugene Nick Dinsmore.
Okay.
Remember some of those guys that have come up? Galvin Falcone, you remember him
Oh
from
yeah.
some of the AWS shows? He's from that down in that area.
Okay.
Um, we got Nick the Natural Nelson on that show.
Oh my God.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, Fargo's North Dakota's own Jake Taylor, who Mr. Incredible and I beat the heck out of at the last show. And we're going to be taking his title from him in the not so distant future. He's fully aware of it, but he's not very excited about it. So,
Well,
it is what it is, right?
he is what he is, and that's his problem. He just needs to. He needs to just do the
Yeah,
work, because once that date, once the show time is either put up or shut up.
exactly. Right. Exactly. That's what I say. Whatever it takes to win. At the end of the day, nobody remembers anybody but the champions, Michael. The good guys finish last.
That's
Eat
right.
their vitamins and hustle, loyalty, and respect is all for the birds.
That's right.
And
Um.
then we've got a show on Saturday, May 11th here in Fargo. It's called WrestleVersary. It's it's a big show. It's kind of like their WrestleMania, if you want to call it that. But it's the anniversary of their first show each year. So that'll be a big one. They don't have any matches obviously identified yet because of the outcome of the show in Dickinson is probably going to determine some of those things. But yeah, so we got a lot of good stuff going on with wrestling in North Dakota. It's a great time for professional wrestling in general.
Mhm.
Um, Sting's last match. Did you get to see that the other night?
Um. I I didn't, but I saw video clips of it.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
video clips on social media, YouTube, and so
Yeah, I thought he was gonna try to put the Young Bucks over at the end because that's kind of what wrestlers do when they wrestle their last match, is try to put somebody else over, kind of a passing of the crown. But I guess Tony and the Bucks and everybody else wanted him to win his last match and be undefeated in his time that he was at TNA. So I think it was something like 25-0 in his time at TNA, which after what happened with him and Seth Rollins or whatever, he was never supposed to wrestle again. So just the fact that he has all those matches in TNA alone was a blessing for professional wrestling fans. If you're a Sting fan.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm a Sting fan. and have been for many years. It's like 1999. Remember, he was with the NWO. He got the black face mask, and then he turned it white, then turned it to red.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Hmm. So
Yeah, that's right. He did have the red paint too. I heard I heard stories that he's got a bunch of little boys or whatever, like three little boys or something like that, and that they all came out dressed like a different Sting from over the years. So you know what I mean? So if there was, like you said, red face paint, white face paint, spiked hair with colored face paint, that sort of stuff. The kids all came out looking like each different Sting over the years when they came out to ringside with him at the beginning of the match, which is really cool.
yeah, yeah. I think I saw that on the internet. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That his kids got to do that and whatnot. So my question to you is this: what advice can you give to people who wants to get into the business, wrestling business and whatnot? What advice can you give to the either guys or gals who wants to get into the business?
Yeah, that's a great question, Michael. I think that the number one thing in professional wrestling still to this day is respect. When you walk into a locker room and you encounter another wrestler, you shake their hand, and respectfully, say hello and welcome. And if you've never met each other before, you introduce yourselves. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to work together, and we're all going to try to entertain the fans by to the best of our abilities by the end of the show. So yeah, obviously, being respectful, but and introducing yourself to as many people as possible. But it's also, the respect is coming up from the bottom. So finding out what it would take to get onto the ring crew, right? There's never enough hands to tear down the ring at the end of the night, right? Because people want to get going, and people want to, if everybody's in town together from out of town, they want to get together and socialize. And so the quicker that the ring can get tore down,
Hmm.
and you'll get to learn, the ring and the ring process.
Yeah.
Um, and then just start talking to people, find out about trainings in your area, how to go about that, and just educate yourself, and be humble, and recognize that you know you don't have all the answers, right? This is a business, it's not a game. So if you're not interested in helping tear down the ring on the first day, when you're going to tell somebody you're interested in professional wrestling, then it's probably not the right business for you. Because we're all entertainers, but at the end of the day, we can all uh, you know help and tear
Yeah.
down or whatever. So
Yeah. And I have mentioned this in my in my I mentioned this last weekend during my interview with Jason Rage and Shay Diesel. And I will say this again. If you want to make it into the wrestling business, you gotta show respect to the people who've been here a whole lot longer than you. And I meant to when I said that last weekend during my interview. And some of the younger kids, they seem not to get that. And sometimes we gotta make an example out of them because you don't just walk in here and be disrespectful towards the people who has put in their time, who have paid their dues, put their time and effort to be at these wrestling shows.
Yeah.
And for someone to just come up here and be disrespectful like this, let me tell you, when you do make, when they make it to this business, you're not going to be welcome, you know,
Right.
because
Well, and a lot of times people have this vision there. Oh, I'm gonna come in and I'm going to the WWE, and it's like you better if you're coming in this business, you better be prepared to get in a car at noon on a Friday, drive 3 hours somewhere, um, work an hour and a half into the card, work a 15-minute match, and then either spend the night and come back the next day, or drive home that same night. That's the realities of the beginnings of this business. So yeah, you're 100% right. Respect for the people who have been doing it for longer, because they've had a lot more experiences and they've met and worked with a lot more people. Um, my I started in 1997 with Pro Wrestling America. Basically, it was called Wrestle America 2000 with Eddie Sharkey, Ray Webby, and that's a long time ago, and that's a lot of people I've worked with and a lot of experiences I've had um, over the years. So, but the fun thing about it is wrestling just keeps changing, and you got to keep changing with the business. So, and at the end of the day, it's all about entertaining the fans and getting crowd reaction.
that,
Good reaction, bad reaction. It's all reaction. But if you don't have any reaction, that's when nobody's having any fun. So
yeah.
uh,
And like I said, I'm gonna go WWE on you. If you're not getting the, if you're not getting zero reaction from the crowd, then you're doing something wrong. You need to upper your game a little bit, because you want the fans to be able to feel the action and tell a good story. You want the fans to just feel it. It's like, oh man, this Michael, this Michael's gonna tear this man apart. And it's like, whoa. You want to be able to interact with the fans so the fans can feel it. Because if they don't feel that, then you might want to do something drastic, you know?
yeah,
Because you want to be able to make the fans feel it, feel the excitement, feel the action, feel the story. That way you build up a storyline. And that's what's missing from indie pro wrestling is they can put on, yes, they put on the good matches, but can you put on the story, a good story? And that's where we're at, you know?
yeah, yeah. You got to engage the crowd. You got to give them a reason to care, right? If they don't have a reason to care, um, then why are we even doing it, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, that's the beauty of these independent professional wrestling organizations running often enough and maintaining storylines. Because when you
mm,
can maintain storylines, you can get that extra level of involvement from the fans that you don't get that you don't get when you just randomly throw a card together and put 6 matches on it, and it's just wrestling. There's no story or any rationale behind why anybody's you know feuding with anybody or whatever else. So
yeah.
yeah,
And just think about like one is like at one of the Grand Slam shows when I was interviewing you, you kind of touched my greasy hair and whatnot. And my sister thought that was weird. I said, you know what? We're telling a story. We're telling
yeah,
a story, you know? And actually, I
100%.
wanted you to do that anyways because we're telling a story, you know?
Well, yeah, because you're how tall are you?
Huh?
How tall are you?
I am about 5 feet. Let's
Okay.
just,
So you're 5 feet tall and I'm 6'5". So when I kept looking down at you while we were interviewing, all I could see was the top of your head. So I was just patting it and rubbing it. So you can tell your sister that, that I was trying to look you in the eye, but the only thing I could see was the top of your head because I am a foot and a half taller than you.
well, you know something? Well, you can see me now because, I'm just a well, size doesn't matter in wrestling.
No, it's about the size of your heart that matters, Michael. And
And
you got heart.
I got heart and I I'm an emotional person. I don't tell people this that much, but I am an emotional person.
Oh, I've seen some of your emotional rants on social media, but I've also heard some of your emotional screaming at the wrestlers that you don't like during matches.
Yeah, yeah, that. hmm When I'm at wrestling shows, I'm in micro mode, and
Michael mode.
wrestlers, wrestlers better be ready. But there's a catch. The only thing I won't do is go micro mode on the women wrestlers
Yeah,
because I have too much respect for the women. I have
yeah,
too much respect. So you don't expect me. No, I can't because
that's that's great.
it's the boundaries.
Sure, sure.
So
I respect that 100%.
yeah.
100%.
And speaking of women wrestling,
Yep.
MAW later this month is going to do an all women's tournament. All
Wow.
women's on the 20
Wow.
yeah, on the 23rd of this month. And I'm going to
Very
be,
cool.
you know, it's not every day I get to see it, but
Who would you say the favorite is?
well, there's a lot of new women on the card, so I can't tell you.
Sure.
So I just
Well,
have to let
my money's on Sierra.
my mind's on Sierra too, because remember what Sierra said a few months ago, and when she told Eli, "Hey Eli, listen, I need more competition around in MAW because you're putting me in the ring against with these girls is a joke and a waste of my time." And the way she said it, I was like, "Woo!" So,
Good for
so
her.
MAW decided Sierra decided to make an example out of them, so MAW is returning the favor by doing an all women's tournament because Sierra has been the MAW women's champion for a long time and having a
Sure.
hard time finding that competition.
Yeah. Well, she's tough. She's tough as nails. I mean, there's no, there's no doubt about that. I actually had the privilege of managing her back when we had fully loaded wrestling
hmm
here in Fargo. So she came and worked Caranoia. She now goes by um, uh, uh, what's Kara's gimmick name now? Like
Oh
um,
my! I free rage
oh, free
Kara.
range Kara. Yep, free
Oh my
range Kara.
god! Oh
She used to be called
my
Caranoia, and she had this Mariah Pruja who is a fighter, like a legit UFC fighter from Fargo or whatever in her corner. So so Sierra wanted somebody in her corner to make sure that she was represented well too. So anyway, so yeah, I got nothing but respect for Sierra. I know um, Joey Avalon has I don't want to say he's managed her because he isn't necessarily a manager, but he's definitely gone out to ringside with her before and and advocated for her while he was out there.
Yeah. Speaking of Joey Jet Avalon, I think the other night was his birthday. Um,
You think he what?
I think the other night I think it was his birthday.
Oh. Yeah, I think I saw that on Facebook too. I think it's Kenny Anderson's birthday today too, isn't it?
That I think that was
Oh,
yesterday
yesterday. Okay.
or yesterday. Yeah. Um.
I saw
Yeah.
Below Zero Wrestling. I'll wish them a happy birthday. So, um,
Yeah. Um. To tell you the truth, I really like Joey Jet Avalon, even though that I heckled at him, saying that he sucks and whatnot. But in all seriousness, though, I I like Joey. I like Joey Jet Avalon. Um, I got nothing but respect for him. Um, I take photos with him and Sierra and whatnot, and they they're great people. You know, I advocate, and the same thing goes for Sierra. I seen the growth of this young woman
yeah,
from being, oh, Jesus Christ, 17, 18 years old,
yeah,
um, where she's at now. Oh my God. Oh my God, Sly. She she has grown so much, and
yeah.
she gets it. And she respects the business. She's kind to her fans, even though like she's a heel, but she's really a very nice, kind person.
Hmm.
And for those guys don't know Sierra, she's a sweetheart.
Hmm.
And she'll talk with you, she'll sign your autograph, and that's the I really like Sierra. You know.
Yep. No, I couldn't agree more with you. Like you said, she's young and she's grown tremendously in the last, well, 5, 6, 7 years since we closed the doors on fully loaded wrestling, and I managed her that night. So yeah, to see her growth over that time frame, and it's good too for her that she has MAW. MAW runs a lot, and they like to get at least one female match on every card, so she gets a chance to work quite a bit. Is she working like that Laney Luck too? Wasn't that?
Um, um, I think so, but Lady Luck is not medically cleared yet. Um,
Oh,
so I guess she got injured during, I
oh
think
no.
so. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
sad.
yeah, and that's what happens. In this, people need to realize if you want to get into the business, you have got there's injuries involved. You know,
Yep.
there's injuries involved, and that's just part of the territory. And
Yep.
well than I do, you know. And hey, I've been to independent pro wrestling shows for 13 years. I saw a guy get knocked unconscious. I see someone basically knocked out cold. I've seen that, and yeah, and that's just the nature of the business.
Yep. I mean, you nailed it, Michael. And at the end of the day, you can look to those major injuries, right? And there's plenty of those. But then there's also guys who you know, are 35, 40 years old and, everything in their body aches because they, they wrestled, they just didn't take a major injury, but it's wear and tear on the body no matter what, right? And that's just a reality. It's like
Mhm.
playing football without pads.
Yes, yes. Um, and we forgot about another thing
Okay.
we gotta
Get,
bring up
okay.
is if if you people are interested in getting involved, wants to be in this business, you gotta learn how to take um uh,
Pumps.
constructive
Oh,
criticism.
yeah, that too. Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. It's not easy to do it right. And if you have a great trainer, they expect you to do it right before they move on. They don't accept slop.
Yeah,
So yeah, you gotta be ready to take criticism, some constructive criticism. But you know what they say? It's just like fans that, don't react. Hey, if they're reacting positively or negatively, they obviously care enough, right, about what you're doing to react. So, like you just said about taking constructive criticism, if somebody's paying enough attention to what you're doing to give you feedback, to give you to try to make you better, don't take it offensively. Take it as if they want to see you succeed.
yeah. And I also learned that, like when I first got into the biz 10 years ago, Kurt Autohawk, he showed me the rope. He said, "Well, Michael, you just learn how to take construct, constructive criticism and whatnot." And it took me years and years to finally grow. And I'm so used to it because without Kurt's advice,
Mm-hmm.
and to this day, I still take, constructive criticism and whatnot, but it's the way I respond is and you
Yep.
might agree with me on this one. It's the
Yep.
way I respond to those, you know, to the people on the internet and on mock, you know.
Yep.
It's something about
Yeah,
that.
you used to be like a stick of dynamite. If somebody said something you didn't like, kaboom, you blew up. And now you're taking some deep breaths and you're okay. Well, what do you think about this or whatever? And maybe you find some common ground, right? Um, you know. So you probably you started reading that Michael's daily advice. I think you started reading that yourself,
Yeah, and you know something? Yeah, and sometimes I gotta read that myself because you're your own worst critic, you know. Like
right?
China used to say. Remember
Yeah.
China? She used to
Oh yeah.
say, if you don't, if you don't take the criticism, then you're your own worst critic.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking some advice from her. God bless. Oh my God, God bless her soul,
Right.
Miss. Oh my God.
You have
Um,
any? You have any virtual? Oh, did you make it out to see Bret Hart at the casino?
unfortunately, not because tickets were sold
Oh,
out.
how far
Unfortunately,
away is that St. Croix Casino from you?
it's a St. Croix casino. I think I forgot where it was, but
It's just on the other side of the Wisconsin border, I think.
yeah, I didn't get to go to that. I think I was just too busy going to other wrestling shows because I made some commitments to be at that show and
Sure.
whatnot. Um, yeah, maybe I should tell people what wrestling shows I'm going to next weekend. Whew.
Yes, I'd love to hear.
So next Friday, And I want you fans to listen very carefully. Next Friday, MAW is having a show in St. Paul. I forgot what venue that is, but go onto the MAW's Facebook fan page because Shelton Benjamin will be at the show. And it's going to be a great show. That's where I'm going to be at. I forgot the name of the venue. I think it's Element Gym. I'm not for sure. Also next weekend, next Saturday, I will be at Rudo's promotions show. It's a lucha libre show.
Oh,
And that's gonna be in Northeast Minneapolis at the Waterbury Studio. So um
yeah.
mhm.
Coming from out of the region, then I'm guessing they tour the United States, probably, huh?
Yeah. And they have their shows once a
Oh,
month. So
you been to
yeah,
them before?
huh?
You been to them before?
Yep, this will be my third time. And they
Okay.
put on great shows.
Wow. Awesome.
Hmm.
Is El Tigre, is he on that at all, or?
I think so. I think so. I gotta check it out. I gotta check to see who's on that car. But I
Okay.
do know that Matthias is is facing Bash Bronson. Yeah. He's been rubbing me the wrong way. So I
Matthias isn't the Lucha Libre,
yeah, Lucha Libre.
but Matthias isn't a Lucha Libre.
I know they just mix it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting wrestling promotion. And I think,
So you said Matthias has been mouthing off to you, or what?
no, no, no. Bash Bronson is
Oh,
rubbing me the wrong way.
okay.
I got something in store for him. I got something in store for him, my friend, because he needs to experience Michael Mo. When I get
Okay.
into Michael Mo, he better watch out.
I'm
So,
ready.
yeah, I'm
I've dealt
telling
with it. I've
you,
dealt with it before. Remember when I was choking the honky tonk man in the corner of the ring over there, and you you're screaming at me, and I turned to Kurt and I said, "Get control of that guy." And Kurt's like, "Michael's my man. I'm not doing anything."
that's what I love about Kurt. You know, um, it doesn't matter how busy Kurt was. He could be on the phone, being on a podcast, or he could be on the phone talking to one of the wrestlers and whatnot. But he always saved time for me. He's
Yep.
always at my house. We go and do our little thing and talk business. And he was right there, you know. He always saved time for me. And that's what I miss about.
Yeah, he was a good guy. Yeah, he just was a great person, and nothing ever got him worked up. Like, somebody might not show up for the show, and so you make adjustment to the matches, and he just never got flustered or upset. Or I still can see him rolling into a show. I think we did a Crushed Pro Wrestling show, and he came to watch, and he comes zipping in his scooter with his mohawk, and
Yes, yes. And I just miss those old days, you know. If he knows, like if any wrestler who mess with me, you know, and I tell Kurt about it, let me tell you, Kurt will put them in their place.
yeah,
Remember, I don't know if you heard this or not, but I'm gonna bring it to light so people can know. There was guy named Oh my God, would love to forget about him. Woo-hoo-hoo. It was oh my God. There was this one manager who decided to paint to put on a red jumpsuit, paint his face black, and started mocking me during Kurt's shows.
What?
And yeah, and I think his name was I'm trying to think of it now. Oh my God, I think oh my God, it was such a long time ago. But anyhow, he started mocking me, and Kurt did not approve this. He did not approve this whatsoever because remember he's in a wheelchair in his scooter, and so he's not in the locker room.
Right.
And this guy was just painting his face black, making a mockery out of me. And then after that, internet blew up.
Oh,
It blew up. Everybody came to my defense because what um what he did, what he did was so wrong. And um he wanted to reach out to me. He tried to reach out to me and to apologize, but I didn't want to hear it because he kind of mocked me,
oh,
and and I it AC Riley heard it,
yeah.
and they he spent him and his friends spent the majority of their trip back to Wisconsin just talking about what this guy did.
Where is he from? Is he from the cities or what?
I think I don't know where he was from. It's like I forgot his name. I think his name was oh my God. If I figure out his name, I will message you
Yeah.
because it was all over the it was all over social media at that time.
Oh boy.
And yeah, and Kurt kicked him out. He didn't pay him or anything. He just said, "Get out." And I
Right.
want to bring that back to light because, yeah. So he
He
did.
crossed the line, obviously.
Yeah, he crossed the line big time. And I believe Greg Hurst was there and somebody
Oh,
else.
Greg. Yeah,
Yeah, it was at a wrestling show, and
sure.
so yeah.
How about your old girlfriend, the one who that sweet gal who passed away? What was her name again?
Her name was Angel Nikki Sin.
Yeah, Angel. Yeah,
She passed away. And
yeah.
and oh, I know another person that passed. One of my good friends recently passed away. She goes by the name of Bridget Dupont.
No.
She, yep, she was a valet for MIW.
Okay.
So she recently passed away, and
Huh.
that hit really hard. Hit really hard on me, because I talked to her 2 months prior to her passing.
Yeah, it's sad, especially when people pass at such a young age. It's so much life in front of them.
This woman was just 43. Just 43. Can you imagine that? Is
No, no, not at all. I got plenty of 43-year-old friends that I would never
and
believe.
yeah. And then last month, MIW, MI MIW did a 10 bell salute. I wish I
Oh,
was there for that, but I was just so emotional, and I was so emotional that I just chose to just go to that Rudo's promotion show so that
sure.
you know, because I was just, and it's like it, you know, circumstances, it's like I just couldn't be there, because it's like I was grieving and whatnot. So it's like I really have fun at that Rudo's promotion show. It's like they showed the promoter there showed me so much love and so much care and passion and whatnot. Um, they just put on great shows, and I'm just glad that I'm a part of that because I want to make Kurt proud. I want to make Kurt proud that I can still go to wrestling shows in his honor. And I believe what I'm doing right now, I'm making Kurt up in heaven proud.
Hmm.
And there's gonna be some days where we'll have my moments. I will have my moments, but I will learn to breathe, take deep breaths, because at the end of the day, Sly, everything's gonna be okay. God is watching me. Everybody up in heaven is watching, you know,
Amen.
because you gotta if and I just gotta take that moment. It's like think about how big Michael's corner has been.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
God. I interviewed people like the Honky Tonk Man, Molly Holly, Trish Stratus. Oh my God.
Have you had Ken Anderson on yet?
I had Ken Anderson on twice,
Yeah.
maybe three
See?
times.
All
And
right, Michael, listen to me here. This is how
yeah,
we're going to take Michael's corner to the next level. So you talked about coming to Cloud9 Wrestling in Minot, which is another 4.5 hours from Fargo, because that's the promotion that your buddy TLC, Tommy Lee Curtis, owns, Shaggy. But I'm trying very, very hard to get Shaggy TLC over uh, to Below Zero Wrestling, which would put him at a show in Fargo. So if I can get him to that, if I can get him booked on that May 11th show in Fargo, that's only 3.5 hours for you. And I've already talked to Carol Castle about her coming up. So you can jump in with her and you can do some interviews at Below Zero Wrestling in Fargo, North Dakota.
that would be awesome. Um, you make that arrangement, make it happen, let me know so that let me know in advance so that because I wanna because I
Make
like
arrangements.
to
Yeah,
so that when that time comes, so I can so I can consult with my people
sure.
and not and
Carol's people, and yeah, I got it.
people and
Well, I know,
so
I know a lot of things got to fall into place. I'm just saying that's a goal because you haven't stretched Michael's corner into to North Dakota yet. I think that's next level for Michael's
next
corner.
level. And I gotta say this, North Dakota fans, I'm gonna tell you this right now. When I do, and I say when or if I make my debut in North Dakota, you better watch out. You better be ready for micro mode because let me tell you, I can raise hell. And and Sylvester J. Fox knows it. Carol
Oh yeah,
Castle knows it. Nick Nelson knows it. Oh shit. Bobby Brennan or Bob Brennan knows it.
Oh yeah.
He knows. And like I said, I basically gonna watch this and I'm gonna tell him. And he knows what I'm capable of. Speaking of, before we wrap up, let's talk about him right quick. Because I am so proud of him. Can
Who
we
we
talk?
talking about now?
Yeah. He, oh my God. He has lost a ton of weight. He is, he's getting into the best shape possible. And I gotta give that man his due. He's young and oh my God, this kid is gonna go to places, you know.
What match? Which match have you liked for that you've seen of him lately?
The last match I saw of him, oh my God. I haven't watched that cage match. I wish Below Zero will post that on YouTube because I would like to see that match between him and Jack Ledger. The only thing I saw was a picture on Instagram that he posted of him and his brother Jack Ledger hugging it out.
You didn't even
That
get to see you didn't even get to see a picture of him flying through the air on the moonsault from the top of the cage.
no, I have not.
That was the finish. He hit Bobby Brennan with or Jack Ledger hit a moonsault at the top of the cage on Bobby
Oh,
Brennan in the middle of the ring.
oh my God! If I find that on on Instagram or
But you know
Facebook,
they had a heck of a feud. I think I don't know what was it, 5 matches or whatever, and finally they had to decide it in the cage, and then they hugged it out afterwards.
oh my
So
God! That I think seeing that photo of them just hugging it out, oh my God, it's just I almost broke down the tears because I can't boo either guy because they are great performers, and I had them both on Michael's corner. Speaking of, I'm trying to get Bobby Brennan back on Michael's corner. I think I need to make that arrangement because I haven't had him on in like 5, 6 years.
oh boy, yeah, you
But
definitely got to have him on, and you know think of all the interviews you could do in
I,
Fargo on May
I
11th when you get here.
yeah, I need to get in contact with him because I would love to hear his story about that feud and whatnot. Because I just gotta get a hold of
Yeah.
it. And yeah, because that I think that's my favorite feud is him versus Jack Black. So,
Well,
so
it was very entertaining.
yeah, I don't want to waste any more of your time because I know you
Yeah.
got things to do. I got things to do, but we should, like Carol said, we should do this again once a month. How's that stuff?
Well, as long as we got stuff to talk about, then amen. Let's get to it.
Yeah, because that's what Carol suggests. We do this at least once a month or once every 2 months, however
Yeah.
you want to do it.
Okay. Sounds like a plan, my man.
All right. Where can fans follow you on social media?
Yeah, you know, I'm old, so
Yeah,
Facebook, obviously, Sylvester
Dave Fox.
J period Fox. Um, and yeah, I think that's about it. Like I said, I'm old. I'm
Yeah.
old, Michael. I'll be 50 before we know it, you know? Like
Oh, yeah. Oh,
well, I'm on
oh,
it. Yeah.
you look young. And when I tell people when I tell people how old I am, they think you don't look 39. You
No.
know, you look 39. I said, yeah. I was like, how young do you think I look? It's like 20. I said, wow, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I agree. You look like you're in your mid-20s for sure.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I'll let you on a little secret. I'll message you because there's more to it than what you think, you know?
oh. So you got some secrets to useful life you're going to send me.
Yeah.
Some secret vitamins or something I'm going to start taking.
I don't, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I'm ready.
yeah.
I need them because my hair's starting to go gray a little bit on the sides, but
Well,
my hairline hasn't started receding. So there's
yeah,
that.
yeah, we'll work. We'll I'll tell you my little secret ingredients and whatnot, and we'll touch base. But yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much for doing this with me. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, but thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this with me.
Pleasure's always mine, Michael. Getting to talk wrestling with the man, the myth, the legend. Um, and it's also a privilege to get to talk to you once in a while when you're not in Michael mode. Because when you're in Michael mode, I'm usually the one who's in big trouble, getting an earful.
Yeah, you know it, but now you begin to see what when I'm not in Michael mode, I just ease back, lay back, relax. I'm, I'm just that nice guy, and I want people to see that side of me, you know. But I'm still a no nonsense person,
Yeah.
and I'm outspoken, and I
Yep.
stand up for what I believe in, and I stick to my commitments too. When you, it's like when I make a commitment to something, you better bet your bottom dollar I will do every effort to be at that wrestling show. And I would like to be at that below zero wrestling. I would love to make my own Cloud Nine wrestling debut. We've been talking about this for quite some time, pre-pandemic, and now I'm because there's two wrestling promotions I want to debut. I want to check them out, and because you know, I'm getting a little old myself because, so
Yeah. Well, like I
yeah,
said, I know you were going to try to make it up to fully loaded, or up to Cloud Nine, but that's twice as far, right, as Fargo. So like
yeah,
Minneapolis to Fargo, Fargo to Minot. Like actually, it's further. It's further from Fargo to Minot than it is from Minneapolis to Fargo. So if I can get TLC down to Fargo, I think we got to get you over to Fargo. Carol said she's got room in the vehicle for you. So I'm I'm saying we got to get you guys because you got experience a below zero card at the Sanctuary Event Center, which is just a awesome intimate building for a great wrestling show. So
yeah.
all right, my
Okay,
man.
all right. Well, you peace. We gotta get going, you guys. Peace.
Take care, Michael.
Yep, take
Have a
care.
great weekend.
Yep, you too. Well, that was a great interview. Um, it's just, I like I said, you guys, I love doing this, especially on the Zoom app, because I just love doing these virtual interviews, especially on Zoom, because you never know, you guys, who I might have on here next. So you gotta keep watching my interviews on YouTube and give me feedback. I need to know, you guys, what you guys think of my episodes and whatnot. Leave a comment, do something because I'm not just doing all these videos for nothing. You know, I would love to hear your feedback on what you think about the interviews and whatnot. So just do me that solid favor and just watch the interview and leave a comment down below of what you think about the interview because I love hearing feedback. And if you got any suggestions, leave them in the comments below so I can read it. And then maybe, who knows, I'll take your suggestion and whatnot. So, okay, I'm going to wrap up now. So, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys in another episode of Michael's Point.